Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov visited the Central American nation of Nicaragua. He met Nicaraguan President Daniel Ortega. After the meeting, Lavrov spoke to the media and highlighted the close ties between the two countries. Lavrov is currently touring Latin American countries that are Russia's allies. Earlier, he met Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov will discuss the Ukraine Black Sea grain export deal with the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres next week. This comes just weeks before the pact could expire unless Russian demands on the exports are met. The grain deal was brokered by the United Nations and Turkey in July 2022 to help tackle the global food crisis. A British minister has said that Russian cyber hackers want to destroy UK infrastructure. Speaking in Belfast, the minister said that the UK was taking the unprecedented step of warning businesses of the threat posed by online hackers. He warned that successful cyber attack on critical national infrastructure, including the energy grid and water supply, could do serious real-world damage. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that delivering goods to Ukrainian regions that Russia annexed was problematic. Putin visited Russian-controlled territory in Ukraine's Luhansk and Kherson regions. Last September, Russia held referendums in Kherson, Zaporizhia, Luhansk and Donetsk and then annexed them. Russian troops retreated from Kherson but have been reinforcing their position on the bank of the Dnipro River. The US Department of Defense has released footage of what it calls a pattern of unprofessional behavior by the Russian Air Force over Syria. This is related to two incidents. In one of the incidents, a Russian Su-35 intercepted a US F-16. In the second incident, the US says a Su-35 violated coalition airspace over Syria and then maneuvered within 2,000 feet of US aircraft when it was intercepted. A Ukrainian Nobel Peace Prize winner has called upon South Africa not to allow Russian President Vladimir Putin to attend a BRICS summit in August. She said it would be a great disappointment. The International Criminal Court earlier issued an arrest warrant against Putin. This means South Africa would technically have to detain him upon his arrival for the summit. More than 80 people have been killed in a stampede in a charity distribution event in war-torn Yemen. Many women and children have also died in the incident. This is one of the deadliest stampedes in the region in a decade. The political chief of the Houthi rebel group has said that a committee has been formed to investigate. A security official has been detained on suspicion of involvement. Chad's defense minister has said that the country's army stopped and disarmed a Sudanese contingent of over 300 soldiers. These soldiers had entered the West African country on Monday. The country's defense minister said that the confrontation between the Sudanese might create new waves of refugees. He added that maintaining security would be difficult. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres will convene envoys from various countries on the Afghanistan crisis. The motive is to find a unified approach on dealing with the Taliban authorities. The closed-door meeting will be held in Doha, in Qatar. The aim is, and I quote, to reinvigorate the international engagement around common objectives for a durable way forward on Afghanistan. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., nephew of the 35th US President John F. Kennedy, has announced his presidential bid. Robert Kennedy Jr. is a Democrat and an anti-vaccine activist. He's been banned from YouTube and Instagram for spreading misinformation about vaccines during the COVID-19 pandemic. His father, Robert F. Kennedy, was assassinated in 1968 during his own presidential bid. Two teenagers in the U.S. state of Alabama have been taken into custody and charged with murder. This is in relation to a shooting at a Sweet 16 birthday party. 4 people were killed and 32 were injured in the incident. The suspects face 4 counts of reckless murder and they will be charged as adults. Workers' organizations in Argentina marched to Buenos Aires. The workers established a camp outside the country's presidential palace where they spent the night. They were protesting against poor living conditions and Argentina's deal with the International Monetary Fund. The deal with the IMF has driven the government to make cuts in social spending. Canadian federal public workers in Ottawa are protesting after failing to reach a deal for raising wages. More than 155,000 workers walked off from their jobs. Negotiations between the Canadian government and unions began in July 2021. They demanded around 15% raise over 3 years. But the government only agreed to offer around 10%. The son of former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, Eduardo Bolsonaro, lost his temper during a work commission meeting. This came when a fellow lawmaker said that the 2018 stabbing attack against his father was fake. In 2018, Bolsonaro was attacked with a knife during a presidential campaign rally. Since then, he's been hospitalized on several occasions for intestinal problems. Cuban lawmakers have re-elected Miguel Díaz-Canel as president for the second term. This comes as the country faces a social and economic crisis. Díaz-Canel received a landslide vote of around 98% of the National Assembly. A new study has revealed that over 90% of India is in extremely cautious or danger zone due to the impact of the heat wave. It found the heat waves in India are becoming more frequent and severe. New Delhi has been found to be particularly vulnerable to the impacts of the heat wave. Heat waves are also preventing India's progress towards achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The U.S. state of Oklahoma is witnessing hailstorms. The state received golf ball-sized hailstones during a thunderstorm. This comes after multiple tornadoes have left behind significant amounts of damage across Oklahoma. A survey has shown that anxiety about the environment is prominent among teenagers, which makes them feel helpless about the future. A youth mental health organization released the findings of the survey. It spoke to nearly 19,000 young Australians between the age of 15 and 19. It showed that 26% of young people were very or extremely concerned about the climate crisis, while 38% said they experienced high psychological distress. Today is the International Climate Fiction Day, which is also called Sci-Fi Day. Cli-Fi aims to imagine humanity's potential futures on how society will respond to climate change while including science fiction, dystopian and utopian themes. It highlights how movies, shows and technology throw a light on possibilities of how climate change will impact us, but also draws on realism. A rare hybrid solar eclipse was seen over an Australian town. This is when the sun was completely blocked. It lasted for 58 seconds, but the full eclipse event took place for over 3 hours. The hybrid solar eclipse occurs when the eclipse changes its appearance as the moon's shadow moves over the Earth's surface. According to media reports, Bed Bath & Beyond is preparing to file for bankruptcy. Reports say this can come as early as this weekend. Bed Bath & Beyond is a home goods retailer that was once considered a disruptor in the sector. The company is reportedly also looking at financing options to fund itself during bankruptcy. Australia's central bank is expected to get a new rate-setting board. The board will have independent expert members who will be responsible for setting interest rates. This comes after a review of the Reserve Bank of Australia's functioning. The review outlines a range of other reforms too. The reforms suggest the creation of a separate board for the bank's day-to-day operations. Luxury goods company Gucci is being investigated by European regulators. This was revealed during by the brand's French owner, Kering. Regulators had reportedly investigated the brand's Milan site earlier this week. The investigation is connected with the manufacture of travel items, handbags, and other leather goods. The reason for the investigation is not yet clear. Chip manufacturer GlobalFoundries has said that it has filed a lawsuit against tech company IBM. It has accused IBM of unlawfully sharing confidential intellectual property and trade secrets with other companies. GlobalFoundries is seeking compensatory and punitive damages. It also wants IBM to stop using the trade secrets. A group of investors at Nestle are pressuring the company to cut down its sales of unhealthy foods. They've warned that overconsumption of packaged goods poses a risk to consumers' financial returns. They're urging the company to increase the proportion of its revenues from healthier food and beverages. Social media platform Koo has fired almost a third of its employees. It has slashed 30% of its nearly 260 workers. This comes as the firm struggles with losses. It's also been unable to raise the required funds for its operations. The microblogging app is just 3 years old. Britain's competition regulator has approved Google's proposals regarding its in-app payments. The proposals give app developers the freedom to break away from Google Play Store's billing system. The regulatory authority had earlier accused the tech giant of dominating its in-app payment system. It unfairly restricted developers by forcing them to use Google Play's billing system. Social media company Snapchat is releasing its My AI Chatbot for everyone. It's rolling out the chatbot to all of its 750 million monthly users for free. It was initially available only to its around 3 million paid subscribers. More than 40 German associations and trade unions have called for regulating AI tools like ChatGPT. They've written to the European Union to come up with the draft artificial intelligence rules. The letter underlines worries about generative AIs that can mimic humans and create text and images based on prompts. British officials have issued a warning over the widespread abuse of surveillance software. Britain's National Cybersecurity Centre has flagged its concerns in a report. The report says that the machinery hacking market offers products that are at par with government tools. Moving on to sports now. In cricket, Lucknow Super Giants beat Rajasthan Royals by 10 runs in the 26th match of the ongoing IPL. Lucknow Super Giants defended a total of 154 to win their fourth match of the season. This match brought the two teams on par with each other on the points table with 8 points each. Punjab Kings and Royal Challengers Bangalore will face off in today's IPL match at Mohali. The odds of victory are placed on Punjab Kings as they've won 5 of their last 6 matches against RCB in the league. The Punjab Kings won their last match against Lucknow Super Giants, whereas Royal Challengers Bangalore lost their last match to Chennai Super Kings. In tennis, Novak Djokovic has defeated 18-year-old Luka Vanash at the Srpska Open. The 35-year-old Serb recovered from a slow start to beat the French teen. The match lasted 2 hours and 38 minutes. Djokovic will next face either Dusan Lajovic or Gregoire Barrère in the last 8. Manchester City has cruised into the Champions League semi-finals. This is after the team's 1-1 draw at Bayern Munich. It gave the team a 4-1 aggregate win. It was City's 15th consecutive game without defeat across all competitions. Former Crawley Town Football Club manager John Yems has been hit with an extended suspension. Crawley Town is a football club currently playing in the 4th tier of English football. Yems's ban over racism charges has been extended for 3 more years after an appeal by England's Football Association. He was suspended in April 2022 for using discriminatory language and behaviour towards his players. English Premier League referee Michael Oliver charged over $3,700 for officiating Ronaldo's Al Nassr match. The amount is double than what he would get for a Premier League match. Oliver was flown down to Saudi Arabia for Al Nassr's match with Al Hilal. Ronaldo's team is currently placed 3 points behind league leaders Al Ittihad. The United States and Mexico have informed FIFA that they will submit a bid to co-host the 2027 Women's World Cup. US Soccer and Mexico's Football Federation must formally submit their bidding agreement by May 19th. The 2023 edition of the tournament will be co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand. F1 racer Michael Schumacher's family is planning legal action against a German weekly magazine. This is over an interview that the magazine generated through artificial intelligence. Schumacher has been away from the public ever since his skiing accident in December 2013. 8 healthcare workers will face trial over the death of Diego Maradona. They've been charged with homicide by negligence. They were accused of reckless and inefficient work in the treatment of the former footballer. Maradona passed away in 2020 from heart failure after undergoing a brain surgery days earlier. Tiger Woods has undergone fusion surgery on a bone in his ankle. This comes 10 days after he withdrew from the Masters due to injury. The operation was performed to address arthritis due to a previous bone fracture. Korean singer Moonbin has been found dead at his Seoul home. The 25-year-old singer was part of the 5-member boy band Astro. He was part of this since 2016. According to local media reports, Moonbin took his own life. He was scheduled to perform on the 27th of May at the Dream concert in Busan. 2 new AI-generated Drake songs have emerged, sparking concerns over music ownership and originality. These songs come shortly after a TikTok user used AI to clone the voices of Drake and The Weeknd. It was soon taken off streaming platforms by Drake's record label Universal Music Group. Singers Harry Styles, Ed Shireen are leading the 2023 Evo's Novella Awards nominations. Rock band Arctic Monkeys are also in the running for Best Album. The awards honor British and Irish songwriters and composers. The ceremony will take place in London on the 18th of May. The rock band Foo Fighters have announced their first album after their drummer's sudden death last year. The 10-song album is titled But Here We Are. It will be released on the 2nd of June. The band have also announced dates for their tour, which begins on the 24th of May in the US. The 11th and final film in the hit action franchise Fast and Furious has been announced. It will be directed by Louis Leterrier, who also directed the upcoming film Fast X. The final film will come out after over 2 decades of the first Fast and Furious film that released in 2001. Actor Arnold Schwarzenegger is set to play a CIA spy in a new Netflix series. The 8-part series is titled FUBAR. The story follows a father-daughter duo who are both CIA operatives. Schwarzenegger will also executive produce the show. It'll be available on Netflix on the 25th of May. Actor Woody Harrelson has confirmed that he and actor Matthew McConaughey could be stepbrothers. Harrelson has been pushing to get a DNA test to find the truth. The two actors have made these claims following a statement by McConaughey's mother. Drama series The Good Doctor has been renewed for a 7th season. This comes ahead of the season 6 finale on the 1st of May. The medical drama follows a young autistic surgeon played by actor Freddie Highmore. A television adaptation of the hit vampire romance novels Twilight is in the pipeline. The 4-book series is penned by author Stephanie Meyer. The books were previously adapted into a film franchise starring Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart. The White Lotus Season 1 fan favorite Belinda is set to return for Season 3. Actor Natasha Rothwell will reprise her role as the spa manager in the new season. Show creator Mike White has said that the upcoming season will explore Eastern religion and spirituality.